Hello again, welcome to your logbook. This is where you'll come after every trip to log your hours. Because you haven't been here before, there are a few things that you'll need to do first to get set up. First, you'll need to fill in some details, such as your date of birth and license number. Don't worry, it won't take long, just follow the prompts. Have you done any driving practice before joining LogL? If you have, the next step is putting in your past hours. It's important that you enter them so that your logbook is accurate. Plus, you deserve credit for all the driving practice that you've already done. Next, you may wish to enter the details of the car you're practicing in. Perhaps it's your instructor's car, or a supervising driver's car, like mum or dad's. We'll get you to tell us the rego number and the state of registration, together with a nickname for the car, like Dad's car or the Commodore. For bonus points, you can tell us a few extra details, the model, make, and things like that. Once you've got that sorted, a refreshed screen will pop up telling you a new car has been added successfully. If you've left out any details about the car or made a mistake, you can always go back later and fix them up. If you're practicing in more than one car, not to worry. You can enter the details of multiple cars, but for now, we'll go ahead and click confirm. Another thing you might like to do is add a supervising driver. If you do not wish to enter a supervisor, you can select Supervisor to be advised. However, without this supervisor, you won't be able to verify your trips, which is what will help you earn more points. If the supervising driver is already in the system, you can just search for them instead of entering all their details. If they're not in the system, we'll get you to fill in their personal details, including their license number, so you may need to ask them for some of these details if you're not sure. You can always add a supervisor or car later on, but it's a good idea to get it out of the way now if you can. As soon as you're done, click Go to My Logbook and I'll see you on the other side. Well done, you're all set up now. Here at the logbook home, you'll see the number of trips you've done and the total hours you're up to. A third feature will tell you how many hours you need to drive each day in order to get your license on the earliest possible date. Under My Trips, you can view your recent trips. You'll see the date, how long you drove for, the conditions, and stuff like that. You can select My Trips for a more detailed view. Below My Trips, you'll see a graph. This shows you how many hours you're accumulating and over what time period. If you scan back up to the My Progress button, you'll also see a more comprehensive summary of how you're going. Then, if you look slightly to the left, you'll see the New Trip button, an important thing to take note of on this page. Every time you go onto your logbook home, you have the option to log a new trip. Remember, the more hours you log not only gets you closer to getting your license, but also gets you more points. And the more points you've got, the more chances you have to win some great prizes. Well, if you want to boost your hours, you've come to the right place. Providing you've done the practice, of course. This is where you log your driving. The first thing to do is to establish the duration of the trip. You'll need to select the start date and time, and then you have the option of entering either the duration or the end time. Whichever one you choose, the other will be automatically generated. The next section asks you about your supervising driver and the car you drove. You can select your supervisor from the drop-down menu or enter a new supervisor. Like in the setup, if you don't want to enter a supervisor, you can select Supervisor to be advised. But you do need to tell us the car you practiced in, whether you select it from one you've already added or enter a new one. Now, think back to your drive for a minute. The next section asks about the weather conditions and road types. The more accurate the data you enter, the better the feedback we'll be able to give you. Similarly, the last section asks you about the traffic conditions and activities you performed on the road. Feel free to select more than one option if applicable. And if you performed an activity that's not listed, you have the option to add a new activity. So that's how you enter your trips. Don't forget to click Save My Trip before leaving the page. Keep those driving hours up and I'll catch you soon.